Hello. Happy Saturday. I am enjoying this day, enjoying this moment, feeling a whole bunch of gratitude, and wanted to share this moment with you. Maybe you're watching this live, in which case we're sharing this chronological, time-based moment, or maybe you're watching the archive, in which case moment is really an energy and intention, but I digress. I wanted to explain and share the next big thing that I've got on my plate, my excitement, my project list. Welcome, everybody. After that thing in the desert, I hosted a 30-day group. About 25 people were a part of it, and it was experimental. I'd never done anything like it, but it was really an opportunity to inspire one another about who we are when we're at our best, and to remind each other of how wonderful things can turn out when you face the default world with the same energy and courageousness and open-heartedness that you face the world when you're around a supportive community, such as with Black Rock City. And it was such a great experience. I found it so powerful for myself, and it was so inspired by other people, and it was such a treat to get these reminders. Because what happens is when you have a fully supportive environment, it's so easy to be kind, it's so easy to be generous, and it's so easy to take a chance and introduce yourself to people. The risk is so low. And then you get into the world, which is, quite frankly, not as fun, not as open. And you start to get experiences once in a while, maybe even just once, that shuts you down. And you go, ugh, all right, that was awkward, that didn't feel good. I guess I'll wait until I have the safety of my loving community again. But that is tragic. And honestly, it's not the warrior path. A love warrior is someone who keeps opening their heart, keeps showing up, keeps seeking their truth and sharing their truth, even when it doesn't get applause and appreciation all the time, because every once in a while it does. And more importantly than getting appreciation is you role model and you give other people permission. There are so many people out there that are embarrassed, are worried, are hungry for some opportunity to open up. So you got to be the one that does it first. The person who shows some creativity, who shows some compassion, who looks somebody in the eye and says hello, who offers a gift to someone for no reason. And as you express that, it is a powerful form of activism. And so starting tomorrow, we're starting another 30-day group to have a weekly call together to share where we're going, how it's been, challenges as well as triumphs, and then some assignments for that week to push ourselves in fun ways to be that activist love warrior in the world. And I think, and the key, for in the world right now, it's crazy, right? And it feels like I want to do something, I want to help, I want to, and there are a bazillion things that you can do, but I want to make sure, and this group is about making sure that we recognize the most simple and perhaps the most powerful activism that we can do in the world is by being authentic. Because from that place, we can be of service in ways that feel joyful and just are flowing. And there's such a power that comes from that. It's totally a sustainable way. If you try to fix the world because you feel guilt or anger, that can drive you for a little bit, but eventually it is not sustainable. But if you can find a way to be of service simply because you are sharing your gifts with the world, that's so powerful. And granted, a lot of the world's not ready for that. So occasionally you get people rolling their eyes or yelling something from a passing truck. And the reason to have a group of people to be meeting and practicing and reminding each other is so that we don't let those old patterns shut us down and go, that I can't do that anymore. I got to be safe, protect myself. We've got to remind each other, no. Step up. This is how you are a warrior. Simply by facing a world that's trying to shut you down, simply by shining your light. That is a powerful agent of world change. You create ripples in everything that you touch. So this is a somewhat new thing for me to be doing this in community. The concept of activism through authenticity is something I've been pursuing for 20 years. But intentionally creating a group of committed people it's brand new to me, and I'm blown away with how much it has helped me. I'll be walking through a grocery store and I'll find myself putting my head down, do my own business, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not who the person I want to be. I want to be the person that smiles at the people I pass. And I'll remember this group and go, nope, I just walked through half of the store, head down, isolated. I got another chance. Still got a few more things on my list to shop for the rest of this trip. I'm going to be the person that I can be. I'm going to be an activist love warrior in the world just by looking people in the eye and smiling. If I'm called to it, a compliment. Those are fantastic shoes. So the group has gratitude assignments. It has missions of things that we need to do out in the world, some writing things, and then the community support of just recalibrating our brains back to that awareness that there is massive benefit to courageously living your truth in the world. And I would argue it's our responsibility. Just as we have a responsibility to be environmentally conscious, we have a responsibility to role model authentic living in the world and give people permission. If we are aware that there is a possibility to live in purpose and live in integrity, then we have a responsibility to be a permission giver to the world. So I urge you to walk your truth however powerfully and however you can. But I also invite you to join our group. We're starting up tomorrow at 4:00. It is $111. It's an investment in you and the world. It keeps us on track and committed. So we value each other's time, and we value the gifts that we bring to the world, the priceless gifts we give to the world. So it's group.hugnation.com you can use to sign up. If you got additional questions, let me know. I'll check into the comments right now and see if anybody is saying anything about anything. Actually, you can ask me anything. But I'm so grateful for this practice, and I'm so grateful for everyone who has shown up so far to step into their authentic activist self without a intention of making any change, simply by shining your light and trusting that sharing your gifts with the world has an impact that is perhaps more profound than anything you could script or create from your desire to, make a plan. Thank you, everyone who is here in this live broadcast. Thank you, Miriam. Great to see you. Hello, Greg. Greg is a warrior lover with a eggplant emoji. Well, That's a different interpretation, but valid nonetheless. And in fact, showing up authentically as a lover is a part of all this. Daryl saying, I appreciate you, love you. I love you too, Daryl. I once had a boss of mine, after I told him that I told a woman I was dating that I loved her, he said, man, you love anybody that doesn't throw rocks at you. I was like, oh, yes. And even them I love. That's one of the beautiful things about the practice of compassion and the practice of self-awareness and self-forgiveness, and you forgive others and you recognize that everyone is perfectly midway in their journey. And even if someone acts in ways that, like throwing rocks, I still can see the fragileness beneath there, the beauty beneath there, the miracle underneath there, and have compassion for whatever circumstances have tainted their brilliance with fear or anger. Welcome, Alexandra. Gabriel, hello. Look at all these love warriors in here. And if you have an interpretation of love warrior that's different than mine, please share it. Such as Greg's skull and crossbones, fire, eggplant. Thank you, Tammy. Love rocks. Speaking of love rocks, I'm going to see the play Almost Famous tonight. Pretty excited about. I just did an hour interview with my friend Anthony, also known as Cookie, at Pink Heart Camp, for a group that he runs specifically for weight loss, but also self-care. And we had this great, he invited me on to just have a conversation about where these things overlap. And it was such a cool, it was so cool to express these ideas and the things that are passionate to me and how they overlap in so many things. He asked me, you know, how would your program help someone who is focused on weight loss? And I was like, well, I mean, I think the more you are in tune with your authentic self, the more you understand the person that you're trying to be, the more clear you can be on why you're doing something. Now, if you're trying to lose weight because you're trying to, you know, win your ex back or make your high school classmates jealous, I don't think that is a sustainable or healthy way to get the goals you want, because then the goals that you want are actually not in line with your authentic self. They're aligned with some unhealthy script about what you should be or what you should have. But on the other hand, if you can get clear and say, like one of my I am statements is about honoring my body temple with exercise and food so that I can, you know, maximize my human experience. From that place, my diet and my exercise come from this self-love, warm, beautiful place, not guilt, not negativity, not shame. And I think that if we can get to that place where we're making our decisions in this place of additive, love-based acts towards ourselves and the world, it's sustainable and it's empowering. I mean, even if, you know, your statement is something like, I will protect my needs over my desire to people please, as one of your kind of I am statements. Then when someone approaches you and they, you know, make a demand of you and you say, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I mean, even if they're frustrated by you, it's still a loving act. It's a loving act to yourself, and it's a loving act to them because you're being honest with them and you're letting them experience your truth. Now, if they react to it in a negative way, that too can be a gift, because perhaps what they need is to deal with that frustration. Trying to protect people from their own experience by sacrificing your truth is not the path of a love warrior. Much love to you, Rachel. If you're tuning in late, starting a 30-day group tomorrow, a kind of support group for love warriors to remind ourselves of our truth, push ourselves past the occasional obstacle or frustration that the default world can put in our way to encourage us to dim our light. And I feel so blessed that over the years I've developed a network of people who are love warriors. I saw, Gabriel popped in the live feed, and a man who pursues his truth and his artistic expression, and it's I hope you don't mind me saying this, but occasionally, like, his part of his like self script is like, I'm a really weird guy or something like that, to which I'm always like, fuck yeah. Like, you almost have to say that. Just, if you're not weird, it means you are trying to fill the script of what you're supposed to be. And that does not serve the world. It does not serve your divine purpose. It doesn't serve anyone around you. If you allow yourself to be weird, if you allow yourself to be truthful, you might have abrasiveness in your life. You might have things go in a way that you don't think they should, but what will happen is perfect. So, God bless you, weirdos. Drac is here. And Kazanth, hello, and Natalie, and Kat. I hope Drac doesn't mind me saying, but last night he was a part of a group, a men's night group of, it feels weird saying it men's, because most of the people in the group I have known since I was a boy. In our group of, maybe there was 9 of us, in a group of guys that got together, the new guy, the new kid in our group joined the group 19 years ago. And he's like, he kept saying last night, can we invite somebody new in the group so I can stop being the new guy? I feel like I've earned it. And it's just such a cool experience to spend time with people that you've known for 20, 30, 40 plus years. My brother was there. My friends Darren and Brandon and Joey, who we all grew up in the same block and, learned to break dance together, and, ran from local bullies together, and just, there's so much shared experience and truthfully support of each other as we have embraced our weirdness. And I feel really lucky to have this kind of unconditional love and support from old friends and new friends. You don't get the luxury of being a full-time weirdo without a support group, which is why we're starting up another 30-day group tomorrow, because it's important and it's valuable and you're worth it. I know for some people it is challenging to dedicate resources or budget items to self-care. And I would urge you, whether you join this group or you join a gym or you see a therapist or get a life coach or budget time and gas money to get out into nature, that establishing a time and resource budget for your self-care and your mental thriving is productive for every aspect of your life, for your relationships, for your work, for everything. And sacrificing because you don't feel like you have enough to keep yourself vibrant and healthy is a very costly budgeting choice to make. Jack saying, if you're not weird, you might be on the wrong playa. Yeah. I mean, like, I know like of the group of friends that we hung out last night, there are people in the group that on the outside, if you looked at their lives with their families and their careers, you wouldn't go, that guy looks weird. But they're being authentic and they're honoring their truth, and they allow themselves to be weird where they need to be. And having a group of friends to get together to remind each other that is really powerful. Rachel saying, so glad I found your YouTube videos. Never been to Burning Man, but I've been falling asleep to your talks for the past few weeks. Oh, I'm so glad my talks make you fall asleep. I'm just kidding. Thank you. It's so funny. I've been doing my YouTube channel for 13 years, something like that. And I really do not spend enough energy on it. I just realized I just spent some time over the last week realizing all these things that I should do to the videos so that more people can find them, and like putting things at the end. Most YouTube videos at the end of it, it goes like, click here to watch another video or click here to subscribe. And I didn't realize it was so easy to do that. I just never put the time in. That's one of my bad, of like, I have not had this agenda to grow and build and do more. I've just had a more agenda, just do what feels right and be authentic and show up and trust that we'll all work out. I still feel pretty good about that. Tammy saying, embrace your awesome. I like that. That should be a t-shirt. Do you mind if I borrow that? If you have not seen it before, if you go to lovemorefearless.com, it is the Hug Nation t-shirt store with all sorts of sayings and mantras that I use. I kind of feel like the t-shirt shop is like a sticky note that I would keep in my house, or a sticker that I make and I put on everything I have, like be present, have integrity, align with love. I put it on a t-shirt so that it can be a sticky note for anyone else to see that might need it. And it makes me feel like, I feel like it's a little bit of love warrior activism. Like, hey, rather than remind you of Chanel or some brand, let me remind you of a powerful truth that helps me. And if it connects and it clicks with you, you're welcome. Because I think this will make you more authentically you, which makes the world more better. Rachel, I really appreciate that. And I thank you so much. It is a profound joy of mine to be able to show up and speak whatever truth comes through me. I enjoy watching my own videos. I enjoy editing them because often while they're happening, it's not a conscious idea that's coming through. I've usually thought about the ideas over the course of the week, but then when they all come together, it's the process of the camera and the awareness of you and this kind of loop that generates this flow, so that then when I kind of come out of the trance almost, I watch it and I'm like, oh, that's good stuff. Or like, I love on my Facebook memories, like a video from a year, 2, 3 years will show up, and I will often have no memory of it. And I'm watching it going like, huh, that is a really good reminder. Who is this clever pink-haired guy? So it's and I think that's one reason why when people do respond to my videos and stuff, it is because you can sense there's not an agenda behind it. You can sense that I'm just trying to tune in to my authentic self and allow love to flow through. I believe that we're all like a straw, and divine energy flows through us. And that divine straw connects to our sexuality, to our creativity, to our collective unconscious. And as we have our issues and our concerns and our fear and our worries, it's like sediment that clogs the straw, like a clogged artery or something like that. And the more you work on self-forgiveness and self-acceptance and self-love, the clearer that straw gets. And so the more this just kind of power way bigger than you comes through us. And I think also that's one of the things that allows me, I think, to love everyone, is to recognize that if someone is coming from a place of hurt or fear or anger, and their actions are such that I disapprove of, that I know that that is the result of a clogged artery. That is a result of a straw that is clogged, that there still is that straw. They're still connected to that same power, energy, love. It's just that the straw is damaged. The straw's got too much clogged crap in it. And if there's anything that we can do to help someone unclog their straw, is to love them through it and recognize and forgive them. That doesn't mean that forgive you means you let people do whatever. You can forgive a dog that bit you and still put it down, or make sure it does not come into your house, or you don't let it around your kids, or you keep it out of your life. But you recognize that, oh, this dog was not raised right. This dog did not have all the basic things it needs. And so it's got a constricted straw, and it's acting out in ways that are detrimental to all, including themselves. And so you can have the compassion. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. Kat saying, I love your purpose. That was another thing cool. When I did this interview earlier today with Cookie, asking me like, what do you hope to give people that work with you and do your programs? And I'm like, well, I want people to, I mean, this isn't how I said it, but I basically want I want to help people clear the straw, because we all have the ability to be profound activists in the world, not by, blowing up, something, but simply by working on the ability to open up our straw and let things out. I had a really thing that I remind myself about, 20 years ago or so, when I had cockybastard.com was my website, and I was just starting doing Hug Nation. And I remember getting some criticism from people that were saying, like, you're trying to you think you're trying to make the world a better place, but you're so fucking selfish. You're so self-absorbed. Like, you want to do good in the world? Don't hug people. Go work in a soup kitchen. And I remember thinking, like, I hear you, but I have this belief, that the way to truly make a difference in the world is to get yourself clear, get your straw clean, tune into your authentic truth, so that then you can be of service from this authentic place. Then the energy is going through from this deeper place. It's not you're a mental should or shame or like, I feel guilt, therefore I need to do this, because that energy, it fades and it's not sustainable. But if you can get to a place of, this is what brings me joy, is being of the service in this way, and joy not meaning like I'm happy all the time, just meaning like aligned with my truth and that feeling. And so at the time, I remember thinking that, and then I had this kind of like, whoa moment, like 10 years later, when I was working at First Saturdays, and like, oh my gosh, I run a charity that helps the homeless, not because I thought I should, not to ease the guilt of like, oh, that's what a good person should do. No, because I realized that was the path of least resistance for personal joy. And so I love First Saturdays. I fucking love it. I look forward to it. It makes me so psyched. I look forward to it. I love sharing it with people. And it because it is this alignment with love and truth and authenticity and presence, as opposed to seeing what's wrong and going, ugh. So it's a difference between, for me, it's a difference between fighting darkness and spreading light. The same action can be tied into either one. But to me, fighting darkness, I find to be crushing. I know that when I get too absorbed with fighting darkness in the world, I shut down. My energy level goes down, and then I can't be of service in the ways that I think I not should be, but I have the potential to be. And when I was fresh out of college, and my degree was in psychology, and I got a job working at a group home with emotionally disturbed 5 to 12-year-old boys, incredibly damaged little children, very violent, taken from their homes. And I spent 2 years with some of these kids, and it broke me. And I lost my desire to do good in the world, at least in that way. And I said, you know what? I don't have it in me to fight the darkness. I'm gonna have to find a way to spread light, because I know they both make the world a better place. And that's why the criticism of the person saying, like, why don't you work in a soup kitchen? I was like, I tried to fight darkness and it fucking shut me down. But now, 20 years later, I realize, oh, you can do the same action, and it feels so different if you're doing it as a way to spread light as opposed to fight darkness. If I give a sandwich to a homeless person as a way to making their day better, as a way to alleviating their burden and bringing a little bit of light and joy to their life, that makes me feel awesome. If I go, oh, this poor suffering soul, oh, that does not make me feel awesome. But the same action, in both ways, I'm giving them a sandwich. Where was I going with this? Kat pointed out that I'm also doing things that I'm talented at: speaking, performing, being. We all need to use our different talents to be of service, I believe. Yes, exactly. And that's kind of like, to go back to what I started this all about, like being a love warrior is being of service by being yourself. That we all have the ability to be really impactful, profound activists simply by being authentic and sharing our gifts, whether it's performing, whether it's speaking, whether it's dancing, whether it's listening, whether it's parenting, whether it's body work. There are as many ways to be of service as there are to be a human being. Sadly, our education system and our culture teaches us that there's very few ways to be a human being. And most of them have to do with being a consumer and to following the status quo. But when we can break out of that and have a community of people that supports us in our weirdness, then simply being authentically ourselves is activism. And I truly believe that we don't even have to understand what or how or why. We just have to have faith that being authentically ourselves and trusting that that vibration has ripples in the world, that's how we heal the world. Each of us is the medicine the world needs. And we don't understand how. Each cell of the body doesn't understand how it's playing its role in keeping us healthy. But if each cell tries to be bigger than the whole, and that's how cancer happens. So there's no way to know what is the profound difference that you have in the world. Maybe it's, digging a well in Africa. Maybe it's working to clean the oceans. Maybe it's helping feed the homeless. Maybe it's encouraging children in art. Maybe it's encouraging people to dance and feel the creative flow in them, and then trusting that as that flow opens up in them, that they will access whatever gifts that they have to give to the world, and that ripple, 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 ripple. To me, being a love warrior is being an activist simply by being who we are. Jack saying that Burning Man can be a big party, a spectacle, a rave, and everything else you want it to be. The love is the heart of the event. You know, I love when people say like, "Oh, Burning Man, is that big? That's that rave in the desert where everyone's naked and doing drugs?" And I'm like, I always say, well, it's a city of 75,000 people that attracts the most free, brilliant, and creative people on the planet. And as those people express themselves in profound ways, there's definitely everything that you just described. Absolutely. If you want to rave 24/7 for a week, you can. You want to do drugs 24/7 for a week, you can. You can also attend lectures by the leading edge scientists and attend yoga classes by the most talented and connected yoga teachers in the world. You will find the leading edge of science, of philosophy, of self-expression, of performance. So yeah, you can rave, you can meditate, you can do whatever. And the truth is there's no right or wrong way. If raving for a week cracks you open so that your authentic truth can shine into the world, well then fuck yeah. Who am I to say that that's not what the world needs? I don't know. Jack sharing, seek to be your authentic self and you'll also find love within and without. Yeah. He further says, Jack says, if you bring forth what is within you will save you. Absolutely. And I think that's how we save the world. You know, you get out of your conscious mind idea that you know what the world needs or what you should do, and trust that there is a deeper self, there's a deeper purpose, and the wisdom that is connected to is so much deeper than what you have learned in your 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, and what you've been influenced by a culture of acculturation and media. It's tainted. But if you can be aware of that, like, oh, everything I'm perceiving is tainted by my experiences, and if I can get out of the way and trust some of that truth and authentic presence, who knows what I'm connected to. Hello, Rachel. Much love to you. Oh, I'm so glad that I went live. I didn't know what I was going to say, but you know, sometimes just having this loop of awareness with you, like this flow comes through that things come out that I need to hear and help me to get clarity on ideas that are just floating around in my mind, and you know, it's not quite clear here, and so as it comes out, it gives me clarity. So thank you for our partnership. Before we go on to the rest of our day, anything that anyone has in their mind that they want to share, a victory, anyone that maybe has been in the last 30-day group that has a shared experience. Otherwise, I encourage you to join me at group.hugnation.com and join us for the next 30 days. If you want to go super deep, you're like, no, a group program, I need more. I want to spend one-on-one time with you. I'll say, one, I will have a 3-month Pink Path program that will be starting up probably sometime next month. The key is I need to get a group of 5 to 10 people that are aligned so we can really make this kind of the cohesive energy right. So that is coming up. If you're interested in that, you can go to pinkpath.net and learn more about that and apply for that. I'm also, in addition to the $111 30-day group program, if you would like one-on-one coaching through that, that is also available for $999 for the month, which would include an hour with me each week. And I can tell you that the group program is super powerful, and one-on-one time is a whole nother level of crack opening. I wish I could do it with everybody, but I only have so much time and resources, and for me to pick only a few people that I can go that deep with, I need commitment on the other end. And I know for myself that when I have worked with coaches, the most profound transformation that I've gone through is when I have committed with resources and time. And so it is from that place of learning and personal experience that I ask that same of people that I'm going to partner with in those ways. The same is true with campmates at Pink Heart. Like, you have to commit, you have to pay your dues, and you have to commit your time, and you have to commit a certain amount of vulnerability and sharing, because I know it is a combination of that commitment and investment that allows personal transformation to happen. You can't be a wallflower and expect that you are going to have a profound experience. You can't flip through the TV and expect that you are going to be committed to whatever you see on there. Now, if you show up and you can't afford to not pay attention, that's how you make the growth. And I'm saying that partially to myself because I don't like the concept of making a barrier between working with somebody because they have to pay, but it's not a barrier. It's the recipe required to maximize growth. Welcome, Carolyn and Nikki and Kim. Yay! So I'm going to call this to a close pretty soon. Again, would love to have you join us for the 30-day Love Warriors program that starts tomorrow. And it will be 4 weeks, 5 group calls, and then daily check-ins online and weekly assignments. We do gratitude check-ins and all sorts of stuff, but it works better with a group, works better with accountability, and it works better with a support group, just like Black Rock City works, because you've got a community of people lifting you up, just like a group of friends, just like in this wacky world, you got to have people that see you so that you can shine that light and be a love warrior. So thank you for being a love warrior. Thank you for being an activist in all the ways that you shine your light. Thank you for encouraging me and supporting me to share my light. It is an honor to share this moment with you.